Hello guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Firdaus Shamin and today I am going to discuss about different types of computers on the basis of size and their configuration. So under this video we will discuss in detail about supercomputers, mainframe, mini, micro, workstations and other terminologies related to ICT. So the first question is, what is computer? So I have discussed in the previous lecture that it is a machine that can be programmed where we store all sort of information, and those information are processed according to the command that we give and we get the output or intended result. So this is all about computer, a brief. Next we have supercomputers. Okay, so this computer is used for applications that require intensive numerical computation. So it is being used in intensive work, for example stock analysis, weather forecasting, nuclear energy research, electric design, analyzing geological data and so on. And the speed is billion per second. Okay, speed is billion per second, very fast. Supercomputers are manufactured by Cray, IBM, HP, and Param Shiva is the first supercomputer of India. It was first installed in IIT BHU and it was manufactured at CDAC Pune. Pandurang is the man behind the development of Param Shiva and he is known as the father of supercomputers in India. Okay. Next we have mainframe computers. So mainframe computer is large in size, powerful, and it is a multi-user computer, but it is not as powerful as supercomputer because the speed is million per second. Okay, MPS. In supercomputers it was BPS, billion per second. It can accommodate 1000 plus workstations simultaneously. So the question is, what is workstation? Workstation is the station or junction of lots of computers that are interconnected to each other in one building or in one small area. So in one small area or one building known as LAN. Okay, local area network, or we can say WAN, wider area network. So under mainframe computer it can accommodate 1000 plus workstations simultaneously. It is being used in banking, airlines, railways and so on. It is often used as servers. Okay, so what is server? I will explain in detail in the later slides, but do remember that mainframe computers are being used as servers, and Mark I is the first mainframe computer. There is one small terminology, that is time sharing. What is time sharing? So it is a technique that allows many people at the terminals to access the same computer concurrently. For example, if everyone is booking a railway ticket, okay, so maybe at the given time there must be around 1000 or 1 lakh people of India booking the ticket via the railway website. So that is called time sharing, when the technique that allows many people at a terminal to access same computer concurrently, because this railway website must have their own server, right? It must have their own server, and here I am sitting as a client. Like me, lots of people are there as a client and everyone wants to book the ticket. So everyone is sending their info to this server and the server will respond accordingly, right? So that is why it is known as time sharing, that the technique that allows many people at this terminal to access same computer simultaneously. I hope you must have understood what is time sharing and how it acts as a server through this example. Next we have mini computers. Okay, so mini computer is mid-sized multi-processing computer. So okay, so there is multi-processor that is being used in this, and the speed is lesser in comparison to mainframe. Speed, storage capacity, everything is lesser in comparison to mainframe computers. It can support up to 4 to 200 users simultaneously, and in mainframe it was 1000 plus. Okay, and in this we have just 4 to 200 users, that's it. Example of tablet, PC, desktop, mini computer, cell phone, notebook, etc. So all these are examples of mini computers. Next we have, what is microcomputers? So it is also known as personal computer, that we call PC, that we have in our home. It is a small and relatively inexpensive computer. So it is small in size, it is cheaper, it consists of keyboard, display screen, CPU, printer, disk drives and so on. It is based on microprocessor and it is designed for an individual user. Okay, because it is personal, so it is being designed for individual user, and it is less powerful in comparison to all the computers that I have discussed earlier, that is supercomputer, mainframe, mini and all. Next we have what is workstation. Okay, so workstation is very powerful. It is single user computers. It has capacity to store and process large quantities of data. Very important. That is why it is more powerful than mini computers. Typically linked together to form a computer network called LAN. So under workstation, lots of computers are interconnected to each other and they form LAN. So this workstation you will find most of the time in the offices where office work is being carried out. So employees are there and they're working on that system. So it is workstation. Next point is that it supports applications that require relatively high quality graphics capabilities and a lot of memory. So it is very powerful, very useful, and it is similar to personal computer but is more powerful. That is what it is similar to the PC, that is personal computer things, but it is more powerful. Next we have the order, right? So the most powerful is supercomputer, then mainframe, then mini, then workstation, then micro. And as the moment we move from this side to this end, what we see is that their storage capacity, their speed keep on decreasing. So the most powerful is supercomputer and the least powerful is microcomputers. Okay, next we have few MCQs. So the question is, microcomputers are based on what? Vacuum tube, microprocessor, transistors and ICs. So it is being based on microprocessor, microcomputers, microprocessor. Next we have weather forecasting is done with the help of, so it's a very complex process, so it is being done with the help of supercomputers. Next we have terminologies and important for the NET exam. So the first one is, what is server? Server is a computer that provides services to other computers. And what are those other computers? Those are client. So for example, you have your system and you are sitting here and you type something in this, like for example facebook.com. okay, and there are lots of servers which are serving Facebook. So this will go to this or this, to any of them, and then they will respond accordingly. Okay, so this is server, that they serve the client. It can serve both as LAN at local area or WAN over the internet. So it depends on the area network. We will discuss about LAN, WAN, MAN and other types in detail in a separate video. And the next is netbook. So netbook word is formulated by mixing two words, internet and notebook. Okay, so it is a small lightweight computer, long battery life, built-in Wi-Fi and optimized for browsing the web and email. So netbook is small in size, lightweight, long battery life, and they have Wi-Fi inbuilt that helps in browsing the web and email. So netbook is not for very heavy work, but for your daily use, for checking the emails, for surfing and all. It is amazing because of long battery life, and it is very small, so it is very portable. You can carry it wherever you want. So host is a computer that provides services to other computers. So the job of host is to provide services to other computers that are linked to it via the local network or via the network. So here there is a local computer and it is linked to host, maybe via LAN or WAN. So the job of this host is to provide services to the client. So this will act as a server and this will act as a client. I hope you are getting it. All servers are host. Okay, all servers are host always, but not all hosts are server. Do remember, each device has its own IP address. So this will have its own IP address, this will have its own IP address. Like we have unique address for everything on earth, right? Be it school, college, university, your own home, your neighbor's home. Everyone has their own unique address. Similarly, every device has their own unique IP address, and this address is provided by ISP. So here is the example of host name of facebook.com. So the host name is www.facebook.com. So we will know more about these things. Next we have, okay, so what are the example of servers? We can have application server like .NET, PHP, cloud server, web server, mail server, all these things. So Gmail is form of cloud server. Similarly, Google Docs, Microsoft OneDrive, all those that stores your data on the cloud. Next we have SMTP, very important. Full form is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So protocol means rule. So rule to transfer the email. So here we have one sender and one receiver. So whatever message this sender is sending to receiver, it will follow a protocol known as SMTP. It is network based email designed to send emails to the receiver. So the rule, whatever protocol it has, the job is to send the message via email. It is also known as message transfer agent because it helps to transfer the message and acts as an agent. Next we have POP3. It stands for Post Office Protocol, and this protocol is to receive the message. So when receiver opens his or her email, that receiver will follow the protocol, that is POP3. Okay, so it is also known as message access agent because it helps the receiver to access the received message. So these two are very important, SMTP and POP3. Next we have www.facebook.com. So this is one thing that you have, that is host name. Under this, domain name is facebookplus.com. So these two are domain name. Another term we have FQDN. It stands for fully qualified domain name. When domain name is completely specified, including the top level domain. So top level domain is extension, that is .com, .edu, .net, .in, .mil. So like this we have that dot and then few 2-3 letters. Another thing is DNS. It stands for domain name system, important. And what is the function of DNS? It converts human readable domain name into a computer readable IP address. So this is the domain name that we have. Okay, but this can be read only by humans. Computer can't read alphabets. It only understands 1 and 0, right? So every domain name has IP address, that is in digit, that is in number. So if I say this is the domain name, that is facebook.com, so it has another layer, that is IP address. So we have two layers, one is domain name and behind that there is hidden IP address. So DNS will convert that into computer readable IP address. So if you type something on PC, that is if you browse something on search engine, that is www.facebook.com, so under that scenario DNS will convert that www.facebook.com into computer readable IP address, and then computer will give you the desired output. So this is about DNS. Next we have IP address, very important. It stands for Internet Protocol. Okay, so it is a unique address. It identifies a device on the internet. So what is the need of identification? As we have seen that there are lots of clients, right? And there are servers. This client might type facebook.com, this client might type some other website. So this server will respond. So server will respond and they will respond to the correct address. So they will respond to the IP address which device is demanding that function. Okay, so accordingly this server will serve and they will not confuse with the user. That is why IP address is very important. So range of IP address is from 0 to 255. For example, here we have everything falling between 0 and 255. Nothing is exceeding. If I put 256, then this is going to be invalid. Okay. So IP address space is managed by IANA. It stands for Internet Assigned Number Authority. And ISP assigns IP to any device. Whatever device you have, whether it's PC, netbook, smartphone, everything has their own IP address. And that IP address is provided by ISP. And what is ISP? Next we will see. So ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. It has 3 tiers. First one is MNC, government organization that install fiber optics under the ocean. For example, if we are getting some internet from abroad, so under the ocean those fiber optics are installed, and then the tier 2 Idea, Vodafone, Jio, Airtel, it will provide it to the public end. And most of the time we have this Wi-Fi, right? Ticona high speed Wi-Fi, so they also do the same, providing it to the public end. So this was about ISP, the one that gives IP address to any device, and it functions at 3 levels. That's it. So guys, this was for today. If you like this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.